Welcome to Money in Media, presented by FinCon. My name is Andy Hill from Marriage, Kids, and Money, and today we're going to be talking about what's new at FinCon in 2020. A whole new decade, guys. This is going to be great. I'm happy to be joined by the founder of FinCon, the one, the only, Philip Taylor, Mr. PT Money. Welcome, PT.
Thanks for having me, Andy. It's good to be here.
Excellent, excellent. So let's start off with where we're going this year. Where is this location, and how is it different from past years?
Yep. As usual, we move FinCon every year, and so this year we'll be headed to Long Beach. So we'll be going back to the West Coast. I haven't been there in a few years. We've secured the Long Beach Convention Center as our location. So for the first time, we'll be in a convention hall versus being in one big hotel. So it opens up a lot more opportunities for us, a new exciting experience. And really just being back on the West Coast feels good, to get back out there and see some of our partners out there and just bring the whole FinCon experience back out west. So we're excited to head back out to sunny California.
Well, for a guy from Michigan, I will just say thank you. I'm very excited to go to California myself and get some of that nice warm weather. So talk to us a little bit about the hotel and how people can make decisions on that. I understand there are different choices this year.
Sure. Yeah, so instead of just one main hotel, we'll have 6 actually. And so you can pick and choose whichever one according to price point, distance from the convention center. Some are right there next to it. Most are fairly close. Some you might want to take a shuttle every day to make your way to the convention hall. But different price points, so we give a variety of options for you, and we explain it all on the website. Whenever you purchase your ticket, you'll see you'll have access to that information and to see which hotel makes the most sense for you. When the convention hall closes at night, you'll have to go back to your various hotels, which provides another opportunity to have meetups and different locations around the campus. And I would say the Long Beach downtown campus area, if you've ever been there, I mean, it really feels kind of like a small environment, and so the hotels really are right there next to it. And so at different points throughout the week, we'll have different pop-up meetups at different hotels. And so we'll try to maintain some of that FinCon, LobbyCon culture at night. You'll definitely have to choose a hotel this year. And so that's something to consider.
Very cool. Yeah. So there's options. Maybe some of them are connected where they can walk right over and others are a little further away. So you can choose based on location, distance, and price. It sounds like having options is a good thing, especially as people make this choice, this investment to head out there and hang out with us.
Yeah, and hopefully so. Hopefully the options end up working out and being a positive. It's sort of a growing pain we're experiencing. We're expecting 3,000 or more people this year in Long Beach there, and so there's not a lot of hotels across the country who can kind of handle that size anymore. We would have outgrown last year's hotel by having it there again. And so a convention hall just gives us a lot more flexibility and kind of an open palette for us to create an experience that we feel we can truly craft to be perfect for the FinCon attendee, and again, more choice with the hotel. So hopefully that works out for everybody.
That's great. 3,000 people. If you guys keep growing, it's just going to be Vegas, Orlando for us back and forth, right?
Hopefully not that big anytime soon, but you never know.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Well, let's talk about just the general schedule. So I understand that there are some activities that can happen before FinCon. So talk to us about some of those opportunities and why somebody might want to go.
Sure. Yes. FinCon is Wednesday at noon through Saturday night, right? And so traditionally people have come in a day or two early, do meetups if they want to just hang out and see old friends. But this year we're also scheduling some formal activities. And in the past, we've had some pre-conferences that have happened before the conference. There's really none of that this year. Our pre-conferences are taking a different direction. And so for this year, we've decided to bring back what's called FinCon Camp, or what we're now calling Creator Camp. And it's really a 101 intro to FinCon and becoming a creator online. So if you're just getting going with your blog, podcast, or YouTube channel, and you really want to get the from the start, information to help you get started in a smaller environment that's less intimidating as FinCon and less overwhelming, maybe a few hundred people is I think what we're looking to max that out at. And that would be that that Tuesday before the Wednesday FinCon start. And so that is the one thing we're looking at bringing in new this year is Creator Camp. We're excited about it. We've had FinCon Camp in the past. It's been a great way for new people to come into the FinCon universe, get up to speed on the technical skills they need to do their work, and they come into the FinCon environment feeling like they are maybe a little more prepared technically to experience the more advanced level sessions at FinCon, but then also having a set of people that they're already comfortable hanging out with and kind of a newbie family that they can then take that to FinCon and feel good about that. So we're looking at around a $250 add-on for that camp experience. And that'll happen, like I said, that Tuesday before FinCon. So more details to come on that. We're excited to be bringing camp back. And I think it'll be a good experience for some of our new folks.
I think that's a great idea. I remember back to Dallas when I came for the first time, and it was just so, I guess, overwhelming is one word, but it was just like there were so many things that I wanted to do, and I'm like, where do I go to do all of them? And then it was just like the first year went by and I said, wow, I have so much to learn. So if I had sort of a deep dive in the first day that said, hey, here's the 101 of where I need to go, I think that would be a great ad. So very cool. I hope that hope that works out for everybody this year. Is a great choice.
Yeah. And that's the formal thing we're adding on, right? And there will be all kinds of informal things that happen the day or two before FinCon. Lots of meetups will happen. And so when we can share those details, we'll share them. But the FinCon community likes to come in early and make a whole week of it. And we definitely champion that. So
we call it our Disney World, right? Our Disneyland. Well, I guess we're in California, so we got to say Disneyland, right? Okay. Very cool. Well, let's talk about the ProPass. I've taken advantage of the ProPass in years past. I've really liked it. Great way to connect and grow your business. Is there going to be any changes to the ProPass process this year?
Yeah, we're actually making some big changes. First change is if you've done ProPass historically, you know that your meeting windows to meet with the brands or other influencers happens in sort of a 2-3 hour period during one of the days of the conference. And it's almost like a speed networking type of environment where you have your meetings booked and they're back to back, and you knock out maybe 15-20 meetings in a short period of time there, have a little lunch together with everyone, and then kind of call it a day with the ProPass. This year, we're taking that 3 hour intense experience and we're going to try to do it over a full day. And so it will be less intense. There will be more opportunities to meet, and it will be more of a casual book at your own pace type of scenario. We'll still have booking software so you can log on and connect with brands who you want to do potential business with or folks you are currently doing business with. And so the ProPass experience will still have the networking, the formal networking aspect to it, but it'll be spread out over a whole day period, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. versus being in a tight window. So that's the big thing. The second change is a subtle change, which last year we did a pro networking lunch after those meetings. And this year, since we're doing the whole day, we just decided to do a breakfast before the day. So we're kicking off with a pro networking breakfast, and then that'll roll everybody into their meetings all day. And again, they could book themselves silly with hundreds of meetings, I guess, if they wanted to, which some folks will. That's great. Or they could just kind of strategically pinpoint it in between things they want to do in FinCon Central or maybe a session they want to attend. So just kind of a little more relaxed experience with it. So we're again, that's a result, I think, of our growth. And we have more than probably 700-800 people who participate in the ProPass now. So it's just hard to manage that in a 2 or 3 hour window. And so it makes more sense to kind of make that more open source and make that more of a day experience.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I remember I think I should have put on my tennis shoes last year because I way overbooked myself and I was trying to go from the A table all the way to the Z table and back and forth. So yeah, I think extending the day is a great idea. Very cool. So let's talk about just other general content changes, any other updates. Are there any track changes? Can you talk to us about some of those things?
Sure. The biggest track change that we're going to introduce this year is the introduction of a social media track. And this is sort of something this content has been sprinkled in some of our other tracks through the years, whether that's the blogging track or podcasting or YouTubing or discussion track. We've just sort of fit it in. But we feel like there's so many people who are now native to our social platforms, specifically Instagram, There are just so many people who that's their home, that's their, that's kind of where they're connecting with their audience mostly, whether that's through updates or lives on that channel. And so for us, dedicating an entire track for that makes a lot of sense. It won't just be about Instagram, but that'll be a big player, I'm sure, on that track. And so that's the major change in terms of content at the conference. We have, I think when you count them all, it's like 11 tracks or something that happen at the event at different times. Now, there are the tracks that sort of happen during FinCon Central, which are more personal finance related or specifically to some of our advisors who attend or journalists. And then on the weekend, our creator weekend starting at Friday is when we have kind of our power sessions of, like I mentioned, blogging, podcasting, YouTube, social media, discussion panels. And there's one more in there I'm forgetting, but those are the meatier sessions, I would say, on the weekend. And so that's not going to change. That's sort of the layout of the sessions is going to be the same. And then I would say one thing we're going to be bringing back, which folks may not have noticed or not, but we have the solution stage this year. And so we'll have folks who want to share more information about a certain solution that we use as creators to do the work that we're doing, present on that stage. And it won't be just demos or pitches. It'll be real meaty content, but slightly different than what we're doing on the weekend with the creators tracks. So anyway, look for the solution stage to come back this year in a big way. So solution stage is coming back, and then the new social media track. Those are the big changes.
Very cool. And I heard something around our virtual water cooler with our FinCon group, something about the startup zone. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So in past, we've had a fintech competition at FinCon, and last year was the first year we decided to hold off on doing that. Well, we thought we really enjoyed having these startups here. We just didn't necessarily enjoy or feel a lot of value in doing the competition itself. And so instead of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, we decided to bring the fintechs back and to say, why don't you come and be a part of the experience and be here and have a specific place on FinCon Central, which is our expo hall, have a specific place at FinCon Central where you guys can hang out and set up table. And maybe for a limited amount of time during FinCon Central, people will go over there and check that experience out and see what's new, what the next Betterment is or what the next Mint.com is. Experience these new fintechs that they're popping up every day that are there to help consumers with their money. And so we like being a place. We think it makes sense for us to marry tech with sort of our audience and keep that as a component of the event. So yes, FinTech Zone will be back this year in a big way. And so make sure when you visit the expo hall, FinCon Central, that you make time to visit that area.
That's great. Yeah, we can do a lot as content creators to provide information to our audience about how they can, improve their financial situation. But if you have these tools, these awesome fintech tools, it just makes the process easier. It's a great win-win for everybody. So PT, I understand this is the 10-year anniversary of FinCon. Congratulations, by the way. I have to tell you that. That's so cool.
Oh, thanks a lot, Andy. We should have said this from the outset. Yeah, but there are 10 big reasons to celebrate this year, and you're right. This is our 10th one, which is amazing. And so never would have thought we would have made it to this point and still be doing this, but it's a great community to serve, and I've had the privilege of being the one to throw the party every year. And so yes, this is our 10th one. So with that, expect certainly some surprises and some special features that we've yet to announce, but that will be part of the show in some way, whether that's a sort of a retrospective, a look back, maybe a little bit of that, maybe also a little bit of looking forward. What now that we are 10 years old, what's sort of the future for FinCon and where do we need to take this thing? And so I think what you'll probably get hopefully out of this 10-year is a little bit of both. Where have we come from, and then where should we take this? Where are we headed? So that should add some special elements to the event, not just for people who have been there all 10 years, which there are folks who have done that, probably over 20, but and certainly we'll take time to celebrate those folks. But we'll be looking forward as well. So it'll be a special time. I can't believe our our event is 10 years old, and really our community is older than that. But in some ways, we're still young. This is a budding industry that's still growing, and the future is bright for us. And so, a preview of that will be exciting to see.
That's cool. It's like you've raised a 10-year-old. They're like in, what is that, 5th grade, 6th grade? You're almost taking care of a middle schooler. It's very, very cool.
That's right. Oh
Very
gosh,
cool.
I don't know if I'm excited about that. But.
Well, we'll see where it goes, I guess, right? So are we going to be sprinkling in some of these surprises throughout the year on the, Money and Media show and just telling people what's going on, do you think?
Yeah, and absolutely. Yeah. And more, new stuff happens all the time with this event. We're constantly creating it and turning it over and trying to make it innovative and exciting for people. And so, yes, as new things come, as our team, puts new things on the board, we'll be sure to share it with folks here on the podcast.
Very cool. Well, there's somebody that's listening right now that's like, okay, this sounds like a pretty cool event. I might want to check this out. What's just one reason that they should consider going this year?
Yeah, we hear this a lot from attendees, which is that the conference pays for itself. And so a lot of our potential attendees and attendees are very money conscious, believe it or not. They're budget conscious. Some of them would even say frugal or cheap. And I'll raise my hand and say I'm that a little bit. And so going to an event, especially one where you're paying for it yourself, in these cases, solo creators are often footing the entire bill. It's good to hear that what we put together really does, pay for itself and then some. And so if your fear about FinCon is that I might waste money on this thing, or maybe I should use that money to pay off debt or do some other things, and by all means, if those are your goals, stick to them. But FinCon, it really is an investment, and we've heard from so many folks that it just pays for itself. And so come expecting to make more money from FinCon than you invested in it. And so that would be the big thing. So don't let the finances be a hurdle to you coming.
Yeah, and I would echo that quite a bit over the past couple of years I've attended. And in the beginning, I'm like, well, that's a lot of money. I got to fly to Dallas. I got to fly to Orlando. I got to fly to D.C. But you know what? PT's right. It pays for it. You connect with great businesses. And if you just want to grow your platform, it's also a great place to be. So what are the dates again, so everybody remembers which dates we should be planning and putting down on their calendar?
This year we're in late September. We start September 30th, which is that Wednesday, and then we go through October 3rd, which is that Saturday night. So those are our dates this year. Yeah.
Excellent. Lock it down on your calendars, everybody. And besides subscribing to this podcast, which everybody should do, or subscribe to the YouTube channel, where's the best place for people to stay informed about FinCon? When can they get tickets? Where's the best place to go?
Yeah. Absolute best place is our email list. And so if you go to finconexpo.com and just look for the sign-up form there, you're not only going to get information about the event, but you're going to get information about our community. Inspiring content that we produce, that we highlight and curate from our community, as well as information about how to get connected through our Facebook group or through our marketplace to get started now. Or if you get on that email list, it's like FinCon starts for you right now, and you don't have to wait until September, which is, the beauty of our community. A lot of conferences are, the 3 or 4 days that you show up and you do them and then you forget about them for a year. Or FinCon is really our community, and it's 24/7 access, something special. So tap into it now and start with the email list. That's the best place.
Excellent. And I can tell you, everybody, it's a community that cares about helping everybody else win. And it's a great one to be a part of. So I'm glad to be a part of it today, PT. And thank you very much for being here. And we'll chat soon.
Thanks, Andy.